Good evening, everyone on the EU server. This is Wild Ones Helper, and I am following the Professionals Tournament rounds 3 and 4. Before we begin, I have to solve my laptop freezing, and it's not a good start. Alright, I'm back. So, for those of you who have no idea what Professionals Tournament is, this is the format. It's a double round robin format, and if you don't know what it means by double round robin, think of the Premier League. That's exactly a double round robin format, which means all the 8 teams in this bracket will fight with one another twice, and the top 4 with the most number of round wins will advance to the next round. However, if there are more than 4 teams, if there is at least 2 teams with the same number of round wins that is lingering around the 4th place, you know what I mean there, then what will happen is that we will use the tiebreaker rules. So this is so it's going to be in this order, head-to-head round wins. So let's say Serenity versus Serenity. If Serenity wins Serenity twice, and they're at the same number of round wins, they go through ahead of Serenity. However, if both teams have won one another once, then we go to the head-to-head match wins, where, for example, if Serenity loses 3-4, then they will be ahead of Serenity. Unless Serenity also loses 3-4, then we have to take a look at the total number of match wins across the entire Professionals Tournament. And if this is still the same, then we have to go to the battle duration, where we can only ask Tolian to verify which team is going to go through with this parameter. It seems a bit overwhelming to you, but don't worry. It will be shown with this table here. Before the games tonight, we have 3 teams with the same number of round wins and the number of match wins. ICRA is above APA because they won against APA yesterday, so you can see it's marked as 1 in terms of head-to-head round wins. In terms of head-to-head match wins, ICRA is above APA because they won 4-1. So that's pretty much self-explanatory. And the match wins and number of match wins, as you can see, is 8 for the 3 teams that are at the top of the table, which explains stuff because you have to win 4 matches in order to win the fixture. So because they won 2 rounds, they must win 8 matches. Okay, so that's now out of the way. This is the timeline of the autumn season. We have the professional tournament being held now, and it will be held until the 21st. Today also marks the start of the Challengers Tournament and the Lower Echelon Championship, and we will go and have a look at these results later in the stream. The top 4 will advance to the Blitz Ultimate Cup, and the dates are the 2nd and 3rd of December. We will see who is going to be responsible for streaming these games, but they are going to be really exciting to watch for sure. This is the November schedule. You expect streams in this week pretty much every day. Kind of went ahead here. Okay, so this is the bracket. These are the games you're going to be seeing in about 11 minutes or so. I'll be following Serenity, so they are up against Serenity team in the 3rd round. Every will be streaming Serenity team, and both of us will be streaming this fixture. Fujit and Nino, on the other hand, will be following Raid vs APA, and then we have Rolling Swarm not featuring anyone. Rolling Swarm will be streaming Gravitas team versus ICRA, and finally Amunet will be following Jokes versus Pink. This is the power rating before the Professionals Tournament, and an update will be provided after the first stage. And this is the map pool for the autumn season. It's the same as the 2022 summer season without Ghost Factory and Hellas. So there are 22 maps altogether in this map pool. Thomas Peterson has made the following predictions here. For the third round, the Peg team is predicted to win Jokes 4-3. You might be surprised about the scoreline, but Jokes has won against the Peg team in previously. It's during the Blitz Premier Cup, where Jokes, I think, won with a good scoreline, like I think 3-1 if I remember correctly. So this is a game to watch, to be honest with you. I think Jokes can come really close, but the Peg team is on fire. I do think Jokes will have a really hard time to topple them. As for Gravitas team versus Ikra, Ikra is predicted to win 4-3. It's going to be another close one, but I would say Ikra is steadily showing what they're capable of. So not necessarily sure whether it's going to be that close in terms of scoreline. And then we have Raid versus APA, which is going in favor of APA. Poor Raid again being predicted to lose 0-4. Let's hope it's not going to be the case. Let's hope that Raid is able to win some matches. And finally, the match we're following tonight will be predicted to go to a tiebreaker with Split Rannery team pipping as Serenity here 4-3. It could go in. It could get really close, and I am really excited to follow this match up tonight. For the Challengers team, for the Challengers tournament, we have a Onyxgan team predicted to lose Vale 0-3, but Thomas Peterson doesn't know that there are significant roster changes in Vale. A couple of core players have gone to ASN, if I remember correctly. So, as you could see, Vale in the last previous skill tournament, they were significantly weakened. I think they went really close with TRT and K. So I suppose this is probably not the scoreline we have, but you can't say that to Thomas Peterson because you don't have enough games to calibrate. And then we have Quake vs Legion, which was predicted to go in favor of Legion, and Legion has beaten Quake before by a really tiny margin, so Legion is predicted to win again. We'll see if that's the case. POG versus TQT is predicted to end in favor of POG. It's a really close game as well, so the Challengers tournament is going to be exciting to watch. And finally, ASN is predicted to win TTT 3-1. And some selected lower echelon championship games would be ARWV versus Prof, which is predicted to go in favor of Prof 3-0. We will see if it's the case, and we'll exit. Hello everyone. In the chat so far, I don't speak Russian, so I don't understand at all. So sorry to disappoint you. Let's hope more people will show up. And I mean, tonight is going to be an exciting night again, especially the first set of games you're seeing here. This is going to be the most exciting set of games you will be seeing on my stream on the EU server so far, and I think this is going to be one of the highest quality games in the entire world. So you don't want to miss any action at all. The maps are Black Goville, Wintermire, Novka, Canal, and Rockfield. I mean, this is a good map for teams which favor mobile setup. Teams who like to hold and use a lot and want to park the bus. This round is not for them. Especially, I mean, all four maps are so open, and it's going to be quite difficult to defend with super heavy. So I don't think we will see a lot of super heavies tonight. I mean, you can see the leaderboard currently. Jukes, the Peg team, Serenity, and Ikra. The Spit Rannery team at the moment has 0 round wins, and they're in the 7th place. I think, well, I mean, I truly believe that Spit Rannery team is a really strong team. So I would say they will start climbing up the leaderboard. And if Serenity wins against if Serenity wins against Spirit Rennery team. Oh my god, these two team names are so similar in terms of how it sounds. I would have a difficult time to distinguish these two team names tonight. Well, if Serenity beats Spirit Rennery team, gosh, it's starting to become a tongue twister for me. Spirit Rennery, Serenity, Spirit Rennery. If Serenity beats Spirit Rennery team, then Spirit Rennery team has to worry about their chances in the top 4, because this is a must-win for them. As for Serenity, if they can win against Spirit Rennery team, then their chances in the top 4 will increase. But then the EU server is such a competitive server, I think the fight for the top 4 is going to be one of the closest. I mean, last year is also really close, but this year, I think the standard has substantially increased because of the influx of the CIS teams, which, like the Pink team and also Ikra, have provided a lot of insight on how to play this game. So, how to play tournaments in general. So, there is a steep learning curve for lots of the clans on the EU server. In particular, Serenity and APA have learned a lot with how the CIS team plays, and they truly deserve to be in the top 8. And you can also see from the Blitz Premier Cup, they really adapted to the kind of the play style that the CIS team has. I mean, when CIS teams first show up this year, like First Alliance, they were able to coast through to a really high stage, to a really advanced stage. And I was talking about First Alliance, which ended up 3rd in the winter tournament. Last season, Spirit Rennery team pretty much dominated the summer season. And knew way to play tournaments, and I mean, especially in the top 4 stage, Spirit Rennery looked unstoppable. Are they that unstoppable this season? So far, they already lost two rounds, and those 2 losses are against the Pink team and also APA. So they have competition. It's going to be interesting to see how Serenity is going to play against Spirit Rennery team. This is going to be an epic match. I don't think you'll want to miss anything tonight. After that, Serenity will be up against Raid, as you can see in the lounge, the bottom right hand corner. And we will see if Raid is able to pick back up, because against the Pink team, I mean, apparently the Pink team is much better than Raid. But against Serenity, that could be a different story. And can they improve immediately? That's also another question. Also, another interesting fact in the top 8 this season is that 7 of the clans here do not have an in-game clan logo. And with Raid predicted to, I mean, widely predicted not to get into top 4, I think. Really good chance that we will see 3 new clan logos being implemented into the game. Which 3 clans? We don't know. We will find out this season. And I hope it's not going to be just 5 people watching. Ooh. Black Goville now. We are seeing Serenity quadruple Type 71. Double Grand Vargan and only 1 Sheridan. BPS quadruple Type 71. 1 IS4, 1 Sheridan, and an F3-215B. And I think we will go into the game right now. But I'm still showing you the lounge. So for you to only know the team lineup is for you to listen to my stream. But now you're going to be seeing the lineups now. Okay, so let's head up high. And Zerd is not playing in an IS4. This is kind of a running meme, to be honest. And yeah, I mean, I've been following Clan Wars for quite some time, and Zerd really loves his IS4. But he says he's too noob for this tank, so I disagree. I disagree with you, Zed. Is it a good thing to disagree with you? Probably yes, but I forgot to update this thing. I am sorry. This is not a good start, and I think this is going to be updated now. We saw this the Sheridan of Tacos spotting a lot of tanks of BPS. Now it's showing up correctly, but not the right clan logo. I need to fix that after this match. So bear with me for a moment after this match as I change the clan logos, because this is Gravitas Team Clan logo, not Spit Rendery Team Clan logo. So there is something wrong with that. However, we have seen Serenity getting A, and they have the cap lead first, and we also have the Silver in the Type 71. He's going to be quite crucial in holding off a potential push coming from BPS. And as you can see, Ufin Josh, which is in the Sheridan, or Way to Success. I will call him Ufin Josh so that you know who he is. He is one of the most renowned player in the entire game, thanks to his extraordinary achievements with 7-star. So this is a player to watch, definitely. Ghosty gets shot at by twice, but also Alpha gets shut down a little bit. Oh, another shot onto Alpha coming from Ufin Josh. Ufin Josh receives a hit from Tacos. That's some good return fire there. So far, so good for BPS because they have 2 caps. So the cap points are going to increase substantially for them. As for Serenity, they will find it difficult to rotate. But is Spit Rendery team ready for a push from Serenity? That's pretty much what they could do. Or they could try to cap B, which is possible, as Spit Rendery team needs to find a way to reset that. And I know that they have trained a lot of times in this situation to prevent a cap stop from happening. But there is not a lot of time left to go, because Serenity, they only have less than a minute to react. We know that there is going to be a 10 cap points of increase per 2 seconds. We're really talking about 20 more seconds to go for Serenity, basically, before they absolutely have to make a push. And this is exactly what they're doing right now. They're going to push on to C, and Santiago has spotted those tanks here. This is going to be important. Serenity, can they be decisive? They need to be decisive and get the isolated tanks of BPS out. We have Foxy and also Santiago, that is near C, but the rest of BPS team is not really close yet. So there is a chance for Serenity, but is this going to work for them? We have to find out. But Serenity is still bleeding, but we could see some fights going on in the middle. Then it's going to drop into V to try and get a cap here. Serenity is trying to get all 3 caps, and Spit Rendery team is in deep trouble. Spit Rendery team also needs to get their focus fire in, and they are trying to get Spitfires out of the game. But Lego is trying to shield Spitfires, and he does it! And Foxy will take out Spitfires. The hit points are in favor of Spit Rendery team by a lot, actually. And with them now dead, Serenity isn't able to cap B, and the silver will go down to Spit Rendery team here. But they seem to be a bit confused in the focus fire, but that doesn't matter. Spit Rendery team will get the win because they still have both B and C, and Serenity looks quite disjointed. They seem confused on what to do, and we're going to be seeing changes definitely for Serenity team. So far so good for Spit Rendery team. They look very confident. They didn't look like they are losing, and they just look very comfortable overall. And Serenity team. Serenity. Sorry, I'm going to say Spit Renity and Serenity at this point. Serenity definitely has done. That definitely needs to be more decisive with the push. I think they are lacking an objective. They don't know exactly how to get the win back. They try to get all 3 caps, but they entirely forgot. I'm not sure if they forgot entirely, but they weren't able to take out tanks. That's the major issue, and they lost a couple of tanks here and there. So we'll see what they're going to do next. And Okay, now I know what's happening. Okay, so please wait for a moment. I will have to update the scripts, so I might be offline for a moment, but I'll be back very soon. Okay, let's see if this is going to work now. Hopefully, I have the file. Yes, I have the file. Is this are we showing the right scoreboard now? Bingo! We have the right clan logo now. Apologies to BPS for showing the wrong team logo, but this is the Spitrenary team logo you're seeing here. And Tacos is going to spot with the Sheridan in a very defensive position. And not sure if he is able to spot something. And Destiny is going to drop immediately to B, trying to get the cap once again for Serenity. But last time, Spitrenary team got B, but this time, can Serenity get B? BPS is going to get punished for trying to reset B, and you can see F and also Zerd has already lost some hit points in doing so. Destiny, I think, will get B, and the cap will go to Serenity. How about Spitrenary team here? Can they get C, or does Serenity have shots into C? I think they will use this factory to shield themselves. At the same time, we have Flytix going straight into A. So this is going to entirely reverse the situation compared to the last match. Last match, you have BPS Spitrenary team getting 2 caps. This time, it's Serenity getting all the 2 caps. Will Spitrenary team find a way to shut down Serenity here? Serenity, all they needed to do is survive, but Spitrenary team is also found to be spreading out quite a lot. So, F has dropped into B immediately, and if F is able to get B, oh, it's a bounce from Alpha, and he is unable to decap B. This can totally change fortunes for Spitrenary team. Suddenly, Spitrenary team will have to defend and not Serenity. Now Serenity is going to make an immediate push onto General and also Santiago. It could be a good call, but they have to get the tanks out quickly because they don't have like a superior numerical advantage, or maybe they have now. The other side, they have to defend nicely. They got F. This is going to be important, and they're trying to get Santiago out quickly. This is looking really good for Serenity right now. They got Santiago now. The next tank they want to go for will be General, and the 3 tanks at the backs will have to move in now. The rest of Spitrenary team is trying to take out these 3 tanks here, and also Taco is quite low at the back. Fighting them, and also Da Silva might have to work together to take out General, and Alpha is now coming from behind. This is getting really close. It's all about shot efficiency. Can they take out Da Silva Fightix out first? Da Silva is now dead. General, oh, we see a block coming from Ghosty, and General is still alive. Flytix has to have had a shot, but he couldn't. Damn, needs to put that shot onto General. He doesn't, but it's Tacos getting the kill. Spitrenary team is falling apart, and Serenity still 3 healthy tanks from behind. And them's going to put a great shot onto Ghosty, and Tacos will be looking to put shots into the tanks of Spitrenary team, but he couldn't here. Lego is now coming in to kill the remaining tanks, and we are seeing Serenity having 2 caps now. It's going to take in favor of them. Lego will try to kill off Josh, and he does, leaving Zerd the last person standing. Alpha doing the favors for Serenity. What a great match from Serenity. They held the backside really well, and the push onto the Spitrenary team's spawn worked really nicely. It's very different to what I saw on the Apex server. On the Apex server, they bounced a lot more shells and they were slow in the push. But this is not the case. This is Serenity. Serenity knows how to penetrate their shots well. They've trained a lot in this aspect, I can see. Look how much of a difference it makes when you can get the tanks out quickly here. Serenity team, even if they tried to support the team near the spawn, it was a bit too late at that point. Serenity simply just have control in both areas. So I think questions will be asked whether Serenity team should have pushed forward and take out the 3 tanks sitting near Serenity spawn. I would have done that if I were to be honest with you, because what BPS Serenity team was doing is to support 1 tank which is terribly isolated. So I would have made that call if I was Serenity team. And I think in this case, Serenity team could have won this if they actually pushed onto Serenity spawn and took those 3 tanks out of the way. So we now go to Wintermund and North Canal. Sorry, I didn't update the scoreboard. Wow, I was a bit distracted. Now, it's tied for 1-1. Serenity love that they are able to penetrate their shells and be ruthless. Serenity team, I think it's pretty much how they tackle the map, how they tackle the opponents, how they read what the opponents are doing. I think it's pretty much down to the big decisions that they make, but we will see about this one. It's all about the decisions here. I think both teams are so good, it's hard to fault them in terms of the personal skills and individual skills. We are pretty much at this level, at this high level of gameplay, where it's pretty much down to the tiny decisions and the tiny focus fire lapses. And we could see Tacos in that 200 LT spawning up tanks. Santiago is spotted. Oh, takes a shot here. But Tacos is also spotted here. Can he run away quickly enough? He dodges 2 shells and the shell just, like, he shots a shell and that shell went to the sky. And Tacos, great shot onto Josh. Now Serenity has the hit point pool lead and we are going to be seeing Santiago and Foxy now quite aggressive on this slope. They're trying to pressure Serenity near the spawn, but at the same time Serenity has dropped onto B and they got C as well. However, can they get out of B? That's the biggest question here. They potentially would have 3 tanks trapped in B, but the good thing is they will have a substantial cap lead when they have 2 caps that are going to be in their pockets. But getting out of B will be a bit of a difficult situation, but they managed to get out relatively unscathed, so that's something good for Serenity. Now pressure is on the Serenity team. How are they going to break down this defensive line set up by Serenity? We could see potentially Tacos running around to get spots in for Serenity, but Serenity has dropped some hit points as well. They don't want to drop any unnecessary hit points because they are the team that needs to defend. Serenity team is the team that needs to make a push. You don't want to give chances for the Serenity team to push comfortably. You want to make it as difficult as possible, and I think Serenity knows this. They would try to conserve as many hit points as possible, but the Silver is taking a hit. If Serenity team keeps up this momentum, I think they will be able to draw a healthy amount of hit point pool advantage, and we could see Foxy and Santiago really lining up for a push here. But we can see Josh close the red line. Great shot onto the Silver. I think the Silver is the pressure point. The Silver is in trouble. Serenity, will they try to make a push on the other side? Or will they try to support the Silver? The Silver needs support. And BPS has made a move to shut down the Silver. The Silver needs to hope that there is something happening for Serenity. And I think it's exactly what's happening right now. Destiny's trying to go for Ghosty, but Foxy is dead. With the silver also dead, the hit points are now neck and neck. But at the same time, with Rennery team gets speed. This can be important here. But let's look at Ghost team with Destiny, but they're ignoring both of them at the moment. Destiny trying to push shots on the general here, but we can see Serenity making a counter push. It has descended into Battle. It can go with it whichever which way, and Flytix, it's a bit low. Serenity with Ufi Josh running away quickly enough. Spit Rennery, if they get C, that could be big, and the cap points are going to go unfavorably for Serenity. It's a balance from Flytix though. The hit point's still in favor of Serenity, but they need to start taking tanks out of the way. Destiny is now dead, and Alpha and Flytix are both one-shots. Flytix is now down. If they lose C, that could be bad. But they got both A and B at the same time, so that's still a lifeline for Serenity. But they really need to get those tanks out. There are 4 one-shots for Spit Rennery team. Spit Rennery team has the effective DPM, and Zerd will be the one to lose some hit points. He has to share some hit points here. Dem is going to put a good shot into Zerd, and Zerd is just immediately dropping into B, trying to prevent Serenity from winning this one. And we can now see Lego coming in. He has to get tanks out. He gets F in charge out of the way. And Zerd will get B. All Serenity needs is just a kill. They only need a kill, and they will win this one. Can these 3 tanks survive for long enough? They don't want to lose any hit points, but I don't think that's going to be enough, because Serenity, they will win by 1,000 cap points, and they got the kill on them a little bit too late. Whew. That was pretty close. Well done to Serenity. Commiserations to Serenity team. They worked really hard. And that was a good call to push onto the Silver. The Silver was apparently an isolated target for for Spit Rennery team, and they managed that perfectly. Not sure what happened thereafter. I think Serenity made a good response to focus fire nicely and frustrate Spit Rennery team in terms of committing that push. I think it's pretty much this. Serenity, sometimes you see them spreading out a lot and apparently leaving a tank isolated, but they have worked their angles nicely, and they force the other team to play it tactically, which I think a lot of streamers have mentioned. What I think Spit Rennery needs to do in the next few matches is they don't want to hesitate at all. They have good ideas, they just need to commit to their ideas and not hesitate. I'm not sure who are making these calls, but whoever is making these calls, the team needs to obey these calls. They can doubt the calls later on, but it's pretty much, these calls have been spot on, to be honest with you. They just have to have faith in those calls. It's really down to this and these minor problems, in my opinion. And with Serenity now leading 2-1, it's going up evenly, so we don't really know who is going to come out on top in the end. I would think that this is going to go to a tiebreaker. What is my opinion for Centurion 1? I haven't played this tank for a really long time. I think that tank is really hard to play from what I know. But other than that, I don't really have a lot of opinions about the tank, sorry. Alright, so we are back on Wintermire North Korea, the second match here. Are we going to be seeing another Battle? Maelstrom, Chaos, Entropy, Anarchy, Pandemonium, Dog's Dinner. How many terms can I just have to study all the terms that are related to Chaos, and then I would be all ready for commentating. But we can see Ufi Josh has spotted Flytix here, and Serenity is trying to blind fire, but they are not going to hit anything. I don't think they know this, but it all relies on Tacos trying to get A and see if Spit Rennery team is going to make a response, which they don't. So at least Serenity knows Spit Rennery team is not near A. Oh my gosh. The names are such a tongue twister to me. Them gets shot at. and Spirit Rendering team is definitely not giving up on hitting something. They spotted Flytix and Ghosty hits Flytix here. Ufi Josh is going to capture C, and that will bring them close in terms of cap points. They just only need to kill one tank here. It's pretty much all about rotation for Spirit Rendering team here. They need to find a way to break down Serenity's forces. But Serenity is pretty much parking the bus. And A is pretty much left open. I'm really not sure if Serenity is going to make this work, but I have to have faith in this one. Because they can absolutely pull everything out of the bag, even if it looks like it is doubtful, but Spirit Rendering team is now going to get A, but they aren't spotted at the moment. We can also see Ufi Josh losing some hit points, and Spirit Rendering team is going to go straight into B. Now Serenity needs to make a response to this one. Crown Vagans are both spotted, and Da Silva, again an isolated tank here, will be in deep trouble. And will Spirit Rendering team send everyone to Da Silva? I don't think so. They have 3 tanks here, but they are very isolated as well. Spirit Rendering team needs to consolidate. Otherwise, Serenity will not have a difficult time in getting the focus fire, to be honest with you. They are now going for Foxy. With Spirit Rendering team, they are ignoring Da Silva at this point. So Spirit Rendering team, they need to start finding a target soon. Because Foxy is not going to be long for this world, and so is Ghosty. Spirit Rendering team is going to lose a lot of hit points, and Crown Vagans are going have to cooperate though. They're trying to get Santiago out of the way. If they can do that, that would be brilliant indeed. But Alpha is now tracked, and Alpha puts the entire clip onto Santiago, and Santiago's now one shot with Foxy still alive for God knows what reasons here. Tacos bounces the shell onto Foxy. I think Serenity might be fluffing this one. They got Foxy out of the way. Ghosty is also out. It's now 6 versus 4, but the hit points are neck and neck with Crown Vagan brawling against General. Oh, this is going to be really close. But Serenity got the caps, got all 3 caps actually. Zerd is trying to get a cap stop. Flytix is now dead. Destiny is cooperating with them onto Zerd, and then get Zerd out of the fight. F has taken a beating there. Ufi Jaws is trying to get A, but is it going to be enough? Is it going to be too little too late here? Serenity gets F out of the way, and General, it's now a one-shot. General cannot fluff the shell onto Lego, and Lego would do absolutely everything to stay alive and try and get General out of the way. But it will be General getting the kill onto Lego. But Serenity, they already have 2 caps, and the remaining 2 tanks are just too far away from the rest of from the 2 caps captured by Serenity. This is another great game by Serenity here. Spirit Rendering team looks very lost here in this one. I think they are on tilt, and they're going a downward spiral, which they need to get out of this as soon as possible. They are now under a 1-3 deficit. If Serenity wins the next one, Spirit Rendering team has to work really, really hard in order to get into top 4. They have to start waking up, because this is pretty much an urgent situation for them. Serenity, well done in the rotation, in the counter push. Spirit Rendering team, I'm sorry to say, but this game, they didn't really consolidate together. I think they were getting a bit distracted. I'm not sure. It looks unlike what I saw last season. They just lack an idea on how to take out the tanks of Serenity. I think their hit list looks to be all over the place at the moment, but that could also be them going on tilt a little bit at this point. But I have faith in them. They are a really, really strong team. I support them in making a great comeback, and I mean, Ufi Josh is no stranger to comebacks. They can do it. They just have to believe in themselves, and I believe in them. They can do absolutely wonderfully. They just need to, you know, not think too much about the losses But Serenity, they are very close to the victory, and I think they truly deserve that if they manage to win the last match. They have played really, really well so far tonight, and I mean, this really looks like this really seals Serenity as title favorites in taking home the Blitz Ultimate Cup, and we are back on Winter Marinovka. And it's Canal. It's pretty much the game that is going to decide whether Spit Reverie will finish, will still be at the, will still have 0 round wins, or are they able to make an unlikely comeback? We will find out now. We are seeing Serenity taking 3 light tanks, but also at the same time, Spit Reverie will take 4 medium or lights. All shots onto Lego here. And we can see F coming from down below, from down under. Oh, we are not in Australia at the moment. The Silver in the Sheridan. Big shot, not really a big shot actually, onto F. But Alpha also take a hit here. Zerd also takes some hits here. And Spit Reverie team, this is going to be huge. They're trying to push Lego. Lego is in deep trouble. But Alpha is dead already for, I don't know where. I just completely missed that. But Serenity, they just immediately push onto Upinjaj. Can Upinjaj run away, or are they going to stop for this moment at this moment in time? Lego, he needs help. He desperately needs help. He is not going to be long, but BPS is sharing the hit points really nice. Oh my lord, look at this! The focus fire onto Tarkus, that is super brutal. Oh my lord, Daisies. Oh Jesus me, what is happening? Oh my goodness me. Yikes. Sheridan of the Silver is going to go down, and this is Spit Reverie team on fire. They are angry. They are angry. They are angry about the fact that they are at the moment 1-3 down, and they are not going to go out of this game without a fight. They're going to make this work, and they're definitely going to make this work. They're going to get them out of the way. And Zerd is also dead. So the hit points are now in huge favor of Spit Reverie. They've definitely put their shots onto, their hit list is, well, it's pretty much sorted this time. This is a totally different Spit Reverie team, and I like to see this team. This is a great team. And Flytix is trying to put a shot onto way to success, or Josh. Destiny is now dead, but Flytix will be out of the fight. Well done to Spit Reverie team. They got one back, bringing this to 3-2. Tremendous work by Spit Reverie team. I'm not sure what kind of pep talk has been done here. I suspect Berlin is in Spit Reverie team giving out the pep talks that Spit Reverie team needs, so desperately needs. Or have Spit Reverie team learned from Berlin's pep talks and they incorporate that to this situation? I'm just joking. People said that Berlin didn't actually do pep talks to GB's team, so GB's track record in making comebacks is still a mystery, to be honest with you. But this is going to be huge. Spit Reverie team now got an important match back, and if they manage to win the next one, we will be going to a tiebreaker. And Serenity team, Spit Reds. Help! Spit Reverie team needs to win 2 more matches. Serenity needs to win 1 more match. I'm so sorry. I'm just fluffing both team names at the moment. I can't really. I think Ernest, if he's watching the stream right now, he's going to include me fluffing the pronunciation of Serenity and Spit Reverie team in his meme video after the season. Oh my goodness me, Sir Ernest. Well, actually, I want you to include that because this is just not good for me. I hate being caught in a tongue twister, as you know. It's not fun. Canal 3-2 so far for Serenity. Can Spit Rennery team bring this to a tiebreaker? We'll find out now. Well, let's head up high and see both teams. Serenity from the south side and Spit Rennery team from the north spawn. This time Serenity is dropping a light tank so that they don't want to repeat the same, not same mistake, but the same situation as last time. Taco is going to go to C and capture the cap, the base. But Spit Rennery team gets B first and will get a cap lead. But Tacos will get C. No, he won't get C. He gets reset by Ghosty. That's some good shot there. And Serenity will try a hand on capturing D, but can he do that? Will BPS be able to put a shot to reset D? Oh, the silver gets D. Oh! That's a great shot from Ufi Josh onto the silver here. And the cap points are... Oh, Serenity could get C. Unscathed because Taco's there. Unspotted. Now, Third is going to A to capture that cap. But will Serenity be able to overtake Spit Rennery team in terms of cap points? It's likely here. I don't think Zerd is able to capture A before Serenity overtakes Spit Rennery team. I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know what I mean. Spit Rennery team... No, Serenity has already overtaken Spit Rennery team in terms of caps. Goodness me. Oh my gosh. I swear to God, if Tolian allocates me to stream Serenity versus Spit Rennery team again in the second stage, I again will fluff the pronunciation of both teams again, and that's not fun. That's all. Right. Ufi Josh has already taken some hits, and it's all on Spit Rennery team to make a push, not Serenity. Serenity just needs to defend and stay safe and not lose a lot of hit points, and I like what Serenity has in mind here. They're trying to stay close to the spawn, but they're also up on this hill, trying to shoot whoever is crossing to D, or maybe to C. And BPS needs to find a way to rotate. But Canal is a typical map that is trained a lot for a lot of clans here in terms of rotation. I think this is pretty much a textbook map that one team would definitely be in a cap disadvantage and have to rotate. And the top teams definitely knows Canal is a good map to train on, because now you're seeing BPS trying to get a cap lead back on C. Can they do it though? The Crabwagons are there to reset the tanks, trying to cap C, exactly what they're doing right now. But they're also losing a lot of hit points in doing so. The TVPs up there have done an amazing job in shutting down Alpha, and Alpha cannot go up there again. But Spit Rennery team has pulled back because they are dropping hit points and trying to capture C. However, the hit points are in favor of Serenity right now. And if Serenity can maintain this lead, Spit Rennery team will have a tough time in pushing. And you can exactly see what's happening here. There are 4 tanks near Serenity spawn, but only 2 tanks for Spit Rennery team. This is not looking good at all for Spit Rennery team. They definitely need to find a way. But at the same time, they got a cap lead through the cap stop on C. So they actually don't have to push. It's actually Serenity that needs to start killing out tanks and get back the cap lead. So this is going to be an important final moment for both teams. Serenity needs to get the kills. Meanwhile, Serenity team needs to maintain that cap lead. But Foxy is now really low. DNPNJH is also down, also known as Danielle. Foxy is down, and we are seeing Alpha being the focus for Serenity team, but Zerd has taken a lot of hits here. Serenity has the hit point, cap point advantage and also hit point advantage, but Alpha is down. With also, both teams now have 2 caps, and oh my goodness me, what happened there? F has taken a hit there, and I think he was on fire? I believe so. Ghosty's now dead, and Serenity, they need to take out Zerd. General is now really low, but The kill on F will seal the deal for Serenity. It has descended into Maelstrom, and Serenity came out on top. They got the kills. They got what they need to do. Well done to Serenity and Spitrenery team. Valiant effort. Great job to you. Commiserations. But I have faith in you. I think you can come back stronger. I think the draw hasn't been favorable to you so far, but don't give up just yet. There are 11 more rounds to go. Congratulations to Serenity. They are going to still be undefeated in the tournament so far. Well done. And let's also look at the results of the lower echelon championship, where we will see Sin winning PWNZ 3-1 and win. Winning against UNIQQ 3-0. They are heavily tipped to win the entire lower echelon championship, and I believe they deserve to be in the Challengers tournament. They just got terrible seeding. Prof, on the other hand, has won ARWV 3-2. That was really close. How about Egocentric team? They've won against Chai Raiders 3-0. Ooh, Chai Raiders. They will have to face ARWV next. UZ and TRNMT are through, with UZ Uzbekistan team winning 3-0 and TRNMT. TRNMT winning Jesus 3-1. Finally, Zenith has beaten Booty 3-0, with Hagi winning also. BTD 3-0. Right. So that concludes the matches in the lower echelon. I will go to the Challengers tournament very quickly, which I think we have results. So someone tells me why, so someone asks why I make the hard choice to say Spitrenery. That's because there are two BPS teams in the tournament, and to avoid confusion, I will say their team names instead of the clan tag. I mean, technically the clan tags are different, but they still have the same alphabets in that order. So I would want to avoid this kind of confusion, and which is why I changed the clan logos on the top to also avoid the confusion. So, right, let us go to the. Let us find results now, and we will go for the professionals tournament here, and that will be going in favor of Pink, winning 4-0. That was brutal. How about Gravitas against Ikra? Oh, Gravitas, well done. 4-2 against Ikra, an important win surely. And they certainly proved everyone wrong that they don't deserve, that they definitely deserve to be here. Everyone was thinking they had an easy seeding, and they are not equipped to be in the top 8. But no, they managed to beat Ikra, an important win that is. APA won against Raid 4-2. That is also an important win for APA, but I have to say, even the bigger well done to Raid. At the very least, they have won something. They have won 2 matches against one of the contenders of this entire tournament. APA is such a strong team, so this is a huge achievement for Raid. I think they can keep it up, and Serenity needs to be really careful now, because Raid is not a clan, so underestimate. They are gradually getting a footing in this tournament. Now I have updated the leaderboard and scoreboard and the fixtures and so on and so forth, we will also take a look at the Challenges Tournament, where we have Vale winning 3-0 as expected, but Legion has also won quick 3-0. However, TQT has won against Pork 3-0, with ASN winning 3-0 against CDT. It is a bit of a surprising result for Pork, because Pork has done so well in the previous skill tournament series, and they don't want to come up short now, because this is not the time to give up and give up your chance to do to get some prizes in the challenges tournament. They have worked incessantly hard this season too. I mean, all the clans tonight have worked incessantly hard. Gosh, I'm fluffing all my words tonight. I am very, very sorry. So. Oh my lord. Okay, so I will update the Thomas Peterson, and we will see the guesses that they make for the 4th round, and also the rest of the challenges tournament matches. Bear with me on that one. I'm just going to quickly update stuff, and also I will show you this challenges tournament. Not this one. This one is not the one I was thinking of. This one is also not the one I'm thinking of. Actually, I forgot to do that. So I'll quickly get back to this here soon. First of all, I will generate the predictions from Thomas Peterson, and I will show you the bracket for the Challengers Tournament. Alright, so look at the leaderboard right now. We have 4 rounds concluded. No clan here has, well, 2 clans here have won all the rounds. They are the Pink Team and Serenity, tied in the first place with 3 round wins and 12 match wins to get in total. APA and Jokes are now are still in the top 4, although Jokes lost 0-4. They have 2 round wins, so they are in the 4th place. APA has done a good job, and they have won against Raid 4-2, and that would put APA in the top 4. Gravitas team with an important win against ICRA will be above ICRA because of the tiebreaker rule. Unfortunately, BPS Spirit team will be in the 7th place, and Raid will be in the last, and also in the 7th place. They have the same number of round wins and match wins, and they're at the bottom of the table. But I would say things could change very rapidly for BPS Split team because they have, on paper, easier games to play. I think. The next opponent will be Gravitas team, and they have to win this one. For tomorrow, for the 17th on Thursday, they will be fighting against ICRA, Jokes, and also Raid. These games should be winnable for Spirit team here, and it's not over yet. It's a double round robin. Things can still change. If it's single round robin, I'll be a bit more worried, to be honest with you. But it has been a competitive top 8 so far, and we are going to be following Serenity versus Raid next, and I'm going to update that now to reflect this. Oh. Serenity has a fan, and they are happy about that. Right, the next matches will begin in around 4 minutes. No, not 4 minutes, 14 minutes. I'm just going to give you the predictions quickly. Just bear with me for a moment here. Alright, so the predictions are up. Let's find out now. Thomas Peterson has made the following predictions. Round 4, not round 3. We are going to be seeing some close matches here again. Jokes versus Akira is going to get really close. Akira is predicted to win 4-3. Meanwhile, APA is predicted to win 4-3 against the pink team. Will APA be able to score the first defeat for the pink team? We'll have to find out. And Ikra, if they want to get back to the top 4, they absolutely have to beat Jokes. As for Split Rennery, they are predicted to win Gravitas team 4-0. I'm not sure if this is the right scoreline in the end. They have done really well. I mean, Gravitas team against Ikra in the third round. Meanwhile, Serenity is predicted to win Raid 4-0, but look at the odds here. Raid with 16.01 as the odds here. That means, for example, if you put 1 gold into the game, imagine there is something like that, you will get 16 gold in return. I mean, this is pretty much a multiplier for the amounts of item you put in. Of course, the game does not have this feature. Otherwise, it will break a lot of laws and rules. So this is definitely not going to happen. But just an example on how low the odds are for Raid to win against Serenity. If Raid wins against Serenity, that will be a huge upset. As for challengers, we have Onyx Scan team, barely losing to Quakes 2-3. Is this going to be the end of the road for Onyx Scan team, or will they defy the predictions and qualify? Pog is predicted to make a swift correction and win TTT 3-1. We also have a selected fixture to follow for lower echelon championship. That will be Wakami versus Chai Raiders, predicted to win 3-2 in favor of Wakami. So this is pretty much it. And yes, I'm going to make the challenges bracket, the graphics very soon. Just have to give me some moments. Just need to give me a couple of minutes to do that. Alright, hopefully that's going to be sorted. Oh, we'll go back to the lounge for now, which you missed all the chaos that I have endured. This is pretty much what you'll be expecting now. The maps are Oasis Palms, Desert Sands, Navy Frontier, and also Faust. And, yep. Do I have time to make the challenges tournament bracket? But I do have, in the end. But I'll have to go into the room now. Yes, I have generated the right results in the right bracket, which I can show you here. Now, we still have some time. Yes, this is Group 2. You're going to be seeing Pork versus TQT in the lower bracket first round. TQT ASN will be fighting tomorrow. I would have to find out which group I'm going to follow. Zero GT will be fighting against Quick in the lower bracket first round. Veil against Legion for tomorrow. Yes, so this is pretty much it. 30 more seconds to go. Just going to post it on my server as well, so that you can see those generated brackets. Alright, so now we go into the room. Raid versus Serenity. We begin with Oasis Palms. Raid loves the Gorilla 15, and you can definitely see that. It's a map that you will expect Gorilla. Or maybe it's not the right way to say this. I think a better way to say this will be... I forgot to end the poll, which 55% of you said Serenity will win. And you guys are cheating. Anyhow, we'll go back. Thank you, Blue, for the amazing comment. Thanks for this. Thanks for saying this in the chat. I love you. I love you all. Here we go. Raid, red team from the south spawn with Serenity, blue team from the north spawn. We're seeing Messi. Going to get the spots up for Raid with Serenity with a strong performance against Spit Rendery team. They are feeling very confident in this one. And can Raid defy the odds as low as 16.01? But with Messi crashing into this building, that will not lower the odds. So they have to be careful. They don't want to crash into the building while being spotted. That would be the most embarrassing thing to happen in World of Tanks Blitz Clan Wars history. Serenity team spotting Messi crashing into the building would be a scene to watch, but we will not dwell on that for too long, because you're seeing Tacos taking a hit, and Spitfire's being very aggressive. Wow. Is this 1 versus 1 going to go in favor of Spitfires, or are we going to be seeing something different? I have forgotten to change the scenes, which it has been changed now. And I hope it gets the right scoreboard, yes. Going back to the game, for now, we can still see a 1 versus 1 Spitfires against Falcon. Spitfires with more hit points. Spitfires can't bounce the shells. Great shots into Falcon, but Flytics will come in to support Spitfires. This 1 versus 1 fight seems to go in favor of Raid. But I have to question Raid, why they are doing nothing at the back. They got B, they got the cat bleed, but they lost a tank. This is not nice for them. They are going to be down in terms of effective DPM. So I'm really not sure whether it's a worthy call for Raid, but maybe my doubts are answered when Raid is able to defend nicely. As you can see, Messi's now brawling 1 versus 1 against Tacos, but he is not going to be brawling Tacos alone because he has company. Look at the shots going into Messi. Base shot from Tacos, but Alpha is also there to catch Messi off guard. But that was a miss here. Tacos is still alive, but he needs a big entry shell, and he does kill off Messi. Now it's going to be 5 versus 7. Still no tanks out of the way for Serenity. Old School has taken some hits. Alpha is dropping down, but Old School gets absolutely smacked for trying to get Tacos out of the way. Tacos, very, very great job there. Tricking all the race tanks, trying to get this player out of the way, but no. Serenity makes sure they will have to pay a hefty price in taking out Tacos. Look at Vabon, he's going to get a shot onto Nixie, and he kills that tank out. Narrow is very, very low in terms of hit points, and Lego will need to put a good shell. It's not Lego doing that, it's them killing Narrow. 2 versus 5 right now. The hit points actually are neck and neck, but in terms of the guns, Serenity has a superior advantage. Vabon, great shot onto Drizzle, and with B being taken by Serenity, Flytix can go back to the garage with his head held up high, because he got B, he got what Serenity needs. Raid almost there with the cap points, but no, they are going to lose all the guns now. Blue is set. Drizzle is going to be taken out as well. Well done to Serenity. They get their first win. And Raid looking very, very confused here. Them not trying to support Falcon at all down there in the valley. You have to question whether Falcon should be there in the first place if Raid is not going to do anything to save him. And second, I mean, capturing B is good, but they have lost the tank with Falcon there. So my question is, what is the rationale in putting Falcon there? It looks a bit suspicious to me. And it also looks a bit suspicious. I mean, it's also quite... It's questionable when I am following that 1 versus 1 match throughout the entirety. For the entirety, I mean. And you don't want to be in that situation. You don't want to lose one tank for free. And Serenity, with also good hit point pool sharing, will make sure Raid will not take this one home. And they dropped the Gorilla 15. This time, Oasis Palms with Raid from the north spawn, Serenity from the south spawn. Who will come up on top this time? We'll find out now. Alright, so we have Raid versus Serenity. Let's see. I can say at one point I only got 6 people watching, one of them being my iPad. But good, we have a small group of people watching, so hello to those watching from home. I hope you enjoy the stream so far. Apologies for me messing up all the time with Serenity and Split Rendery, but now Serenity is not facing Split Rendery, so I'm not going to mess that up now. Messi in the T100 LT will try to spot tanks for them, but Serenity is not going that way. It's going to the A side, so will Serenity be able to spot some raid tanks? Also going to A, so this could descend into Anarchy very soon. C is going to be captured by Tacos. That will give them the cap lead, but Raid knows there is at least a tank on the desert side. Will they rush? Will they capitalize on this, or will they wait? The more they wait, the more time for Serenity to rotate and support the team near A. So this is pretty much a lot of stake at hand. With Flytek spotted, Messi is really important given the information. This is the time for Raid to push, and they are doing that exactly. Serenity, do they have a response to Raid's push? They are trying their best to survive, but you are seeing Flytek coming from the middle to stop Raid from pushing, and Raid has stopped a little bit. They will need to keep on pushing though, but Serenity has done a really great job in bouncing shots, but they also bounce shots as well. Falcon is now really low, and Raid, they really need to get the hit list sorted. The focus is now onto Old School. Falcon is now dead. Spitfire going beyond the dunes to prevent getting shots at and confuse Raid's focus fire. This Raid's push didn't seem to work out at all. Drizzle is now removed. We can see Narrow being absolutely focused down by Serenity's tanks. Lego is now out, and we can also see Serenity. Now they're getting the upper hand. Tacos is at the back, sniping for his life, and Narrow will not last long. Nixie also will not last long, and Nixie just rams himself to death. Narrow will be killed by Vabon, and Flytix will not be happy about this kill steal. And I'm not sure if he will rage quit. Definitely not. You don't want to be that person who trash talk your team a lot of times, if you know what I mean. Vabon has now come from behind to put shots onto Blue, and Alpha will bounce onto Blue for the unluckiest reasons, and we are seeing Messi, last person standing, out of the fight. Raid doesn't stand a chance at all in the end, to be honest with you, but the push, it works. The push actually can work. It's not that it works in the end. It didn't work out in the end, but it's a call that they should make. It's a call that they got it right. They got this call right. They weren't able to get a tanks out. That's the issue. They didn't get the execution nicely, and this is a problem. They really, it's what I said with Raid in the games of the Pink team against the Pink team. They have good ideas. They just need to commit to that and execute it. It's not like they don't know what to do. They know there is something about that match. This match, I think Raid, if they were able to get the Type 71s quickly enough, they could actually they could actually make it really close. I think that really hurt them in the end, and I hope Raid is not going to blame that push. That push has to come. They had the numerical advantage over the desert side. Messi was very crucial in getting the information there, and they really need the execution. It's just that final product they need to get this sorted. Now we're now onto Desert Sands. Serenity now taking quintuple Type 71s, a Sheridan, and also a Crown Wagen. Oh, so there is someone saying hi to me. Thank you. Thank you for your tremendous support to the stream, and I hope we will see you tomorrow for the Challengers Tournament. With only 20 more seconds to go, Raid will take quadruple Type 71s, 1 T100 LT, 1 WZ13s, and an FE215B. but I hope that Raid will be able to pick up some wins. They picked up 2 wins against APA, but I hope they will get something out of this, because so far they looked out of depth in the top 8 stages. And I mean, they're a legendary clan, it's just that, yeah, I think they have a couple of really new players as well. So, I mean, Old School told me the other day that they have a couple of new players and they're still sorting out their team. So I think this season for them is pretty much a training season, and if they continue to work with this team, I'm sure they will be able to perform a lot better, and they have a lot of potential, to be honest with you. Those players are really good players. I think they just need a little bit of time, and the EU server is horrendously competitive. So for that, I wish all the luck for Raid, and they're trying to get A quickly here to get the cap lead with Serenity. Are they well equipped to tackle this issue at hand? We could see Narrow spotted, pulling back. Alpha gets shot at. Spitfires get really aggressive there. He has to be careful though, because there are 3 Raid tanks near the spawn. Oh my god. And they don't want to lose a tank that easily. But Raid at the same time, they are currently spread out, but they are gradually consolidating. And this means these tanks defending the northwestern corner has to be really careful, because if they get pushed, Serenity needs to immediately support them. At the same time, Raid doesn't need to do much, because Raid has the cap lead. All they need to do is to whittle down the hit points of Serenity, which they have done brilliantly at the moment. Alpha has taken a couple of hits, and if Raid decides to push Spitfires and Alpha, that could also work. They just have to figure out which idea to go for, which idea to commit to. Either would work. Either they push onto A, or they push down the middle. But it seems they're going to push down the middle. This is their call in the end. And Serenity needs not to be too aggressive, but maybe they can be aggressive now, because there is 1 tank of Flytix coming in to make it 3 versus 3. Spitfires and also Alpha are now in deep trouble. Raid got Alpha. This is a great move by Raid. And also we are seeing Spitfires not able to put a shot onto Drizzle. Lego's the one getting the kills here. But Serenity, the hit points are still really close. The 3 versus 3 seems to go either way actually. Flytix is still at the back. Raid is focusing onto them. And Nixie is now very, very low. Dem will try to push onto Nixie, but it's proven to be too difficult. He bounces onto Falcon instead, and Fabon will need to put a good shell onto Nixie. He kills Nixie off, but Flytix wastes the shell on that tank. It's now 5 versus 4. It's still anyone's game to call still. I mean, the hit points are now in favor of Raid. This is looking really strong for Raid. But Old School's now dead. Flytix has now joined Lego in the fight, but I think it's not going to be enough. There are simply too many tanks to deal with for Serenity, and Serenity, they will hope that they could get blue as soon as possible. But even if that's the case, are they able to survive for long enough? I don't think so. Well done to Raid. That is a great, great game. Great push down the middle. They committed to that call. They didn't commit a lot near the west side. Serenity, I think they got a little bit. Oh, they got a little bit too comfortable there. They were somewhat underestimating the call that Raid made in the middle. That call, as I said, either would work. I mean, you could push to the west side or down to the middle. The final answer is they pushed down the middle. It worked. They were decisive. They got the tanks out quickly enough. It's all they need to do. They just have to have faith in their strategy and execute it. And that's all they need in order to win matches. I mean, Raid, they deserve to be here. I mean, they have fought hard in the qualifiers. I hope they will continue to show us what they're capable of doing. Now they brought it to 1-2, and if they are able to win another match, that will put pressure on Serenity. Serenity currently with 3 round wins. They certainly do not want to mess up with the perfect track record so far. They are very impressive, but they don't want I mean, they want to get as many round wins as possible in order to get into top 4. It's still the early stages. Things could still happen. The teams like Split Rennery can improve massively over the course of professional tournaments. Now is not the time to get too comfortable. The game is still on. The fight is still on. Raid. Can they keep up that good performance on the SSNs? We are now going to the second match here. Let's head up high. We are seeing Raid, North Spawn going into the desert again. And Serenity also doing a similar thing, but Lego is going... not going the other way, is very far behind. Not sure what he's trying to do. He's spotted though, so he has to be really mindful. Look at the shots coming in from Raid. That's the issue of staying there when you're spotted. I think you can attribute that spot to Messi. That's a great spot from him. With Raid now having most of the tanks in the desert now, I think this could descend into a brawl fest and very quickly into Pandemonium Docks dinner, and it's going to be all about focus fire and shot efficiency and effectiveness. You can see 2 tanks going to this side of Raid and 3 tanks to the west side as well. Falcon's trying to cap A, but at this point, is it important to get a cap? Maybe not, because Raid will have to prepare for a push. But with Tacos getting... oh, I'm not sure if that's a good call. Because Tacos going into C momentarily meant that Raid could push. Great call. Raid, if they commit to this, they could actually get out with something. Fighting is now dead, so that's some good focus fire from Raid so far. Raid definitely capitalizing on Tacos' mistake. And Serenity definitely needs to get a tank cell. This has to send it into Pandemonium, with Messi being the focus for Vabon and also Lego. They really need to get that light tank out of the way. And he's still running around, causing all sorts of problems. And he's been taken out by Alpha. The focus has now turned on to Falcon, with them also being taken out here. It's 6 versus 5. Hip was in huge favor of Raid at this moment in time. Now we're trying to find Tacos. Spitfire's going to tag Nauru here. Serenity needs to sort out the hit list here. At the moment, Raid is making it really difficult for Serenity to focus fire. And that's a really good job here. Spitfire's down to 1 shot, killed by Drizzle. Old School kills Lego. Well done to Raid. That's really good match here. Vabon is going to be the focus for Raid next. But Tacos can be very important. He will try to run away as far as he could and try to cause issues with caps. But Serenity doesn't have any cap at all, and Falcon has been killed. Actually, it's not over yet for Serenity. They could still win this one if Raid is caught off guard and caught daydreaming. They absolutely need to start isolating tanks down. With Alpha bouncing onto Nixie. Ooh, that's not good enough. Nauru is now quite low, but Ray definitely needs to stay alive. Vabon, great shot into Old School, but he's killed by, well, Old School, good kill onto Vabon, and good shots. I mean, Drizzle bounces, I believe. I just kind of got confused for a moment here. Alpha is the focus for Raid now, and he's now down to 1 shot Tacos. He can't do much here. He would try to shut down Nixie and also Nauru, but they are not going to give the opportunity for Tacos to kill that tank. Well done to Raid. That is a well-timed push. Tacos, on the other hand, I think underestimated the issue here. Again, as I said, caps can be a make or break call. And the decision to go C momentarily, unfortunately, is the losing call for Serenity. That gave the indication for Raid to push immediately. And look at how Raid responded to Tacos' brief capture on C because they know they have a numerical advantage there. So they were able to focus the tanks down one by one, some really great focus fire done at the start for Raid, and that's pretty much enough for Raid to win because they have like 7 versus 5. But that was a good kill onto Naro from Tacos, but I don't think it was going to be enough. He will have to hope that he's able to take out isolated tanks of Raid. But Raid is not isolating themselves. They have 2 caps. They just have to stay alive and win. And this means Raid has brought it to a 2-2 tie. There is still a lot to go. There are still loads to play for. Raid is gradually making a comeback here. Well done to Raid. Now they're going to a 2-2. Suddenly, this is the old Raid. This is the Raid that we all know and love. Great job to Raid. Congratulations. This is a great game for you. Continue this momentum, and I'm very sure you'll be able to pick up some results in the professional tournament. And all the best, to be honest with you. Serenity, now they're going with quadruple Type 71s. One Crown Wagon, one T100 LT, and 160 TP with Raid. Going for double Type 71s, double IS4, I think. Maybe. Yeah, double. One T100 LT and WZ 113 and a 215B. Or maybe they will change the tanks. Raid. Now they're on Naval Frontier. We will see what they're going to do here. Thirty more seconds to go. Now Raid has finalized their lineup. They're potentially have they finalized? They have finalized. They're going for double 215B, double IS4, double Type 71, and a T100 LT. Serenity, on the other hand, will go for quadruple Type 71, one T100 LT, one Crown Wagon, and a 60 TP. We'll go in now. Now it's time to roll out, and we are going to be seeing Messi getting spots for Raid and Serenity. How are they going to tackle this? We have seen them getting spotted. Tacos also trying to spot tanks of Raid, spotted up Blue and also Drizzle. Raid going en masse to see. Old School spotted. And also Narrow spotted Spitfires. Barely dodges a shot for Spitfires, but Nixie takes a couple of hits. Raid has a lot more tanks on C, and Serenity is forced to defend. They will not get a cap lead here because they will be getting A little bit later. But Raid does not have any tanks to reset A, and they got C, so they will have a cap lead. And Serenity, will they try to get B? Potentially yes, it's possible. And I don't think Raid is in position to reset that. So if Serenity has more information, then maybe they will make that move. But they don't have enough information at this point. Them is shot at. Raid has more hit points, so it's looking good for Raid at the moment here. Reborn is reloading, and Falcon is also reloading. And we are also seeing Serenity now looking to get into B. This is what I'm talking about. They're trying to get back the cap lead because they captured A more slowly than Raid. And will Old School be able to reset B? Flyetics still not spotted, however, but he's changing the side. He got B finally, and he bounced a shot from Old School. This is looking good for Serenity. They will now get a cap lead back, but they're still dropping hit points. Alpha has dropped a couple of hit points now, and this is a great track shot onto Drizzle. And Alpha will put another good shot onto Drizzle, and Alpha will reload now. We are seeing Vabon. Great shot to Falcon. That's going to be good for the 1v1 fight potentially happening, but Nixie is going to join Falcon, so that means Serenity is in deep trouble. Vabon is in deep trouble. They need to respond to that. Raid looks quite isolated at this moment, so if Serenity decides to make a push, they can kill the isolated tanks, but Vabon is pulling back still. Can he pull back just in time for Serenity to support Vabon? I think so. Dem has now joined Vabon and tried to take out Falcon. Nexie's not going to join Falcon in this 2v1 fight. That means Falcon is in deep trouble. Hip was still in huge favor of Raid, so Serenity absolutely needs to start getting tanks out of the way. They have found old school that are low in health, but I'm not sure whether it's a good call for Tacos to go for Narrow. And Flytix is now dead. Serenity, they are falling apart at the moment here. Falcon is now dead. Nixie needs to be killed, and Lego is being taken out. But we have these two tanks now on the high ground. Could get a lot of shots in. Tacos will have to run away. Great kill onto Drizzle, but Spitfires is also out of the fight. Fabon will have to be really mindful in this position, but he will provide a lot of crucial information for Serenity, but he's going to drop down. He will be tasked to kill Nixie out of the way. He has to do this one. He can't fluff the shot. He kills Nixie. It's 4 versus 3. Raid could still have this one. Potentially. Serenity getting C back. That's good. Great track shot onto Blue. And Blue bounces onto Vabon. Now Messi is going to do a 1 versus 1 against Tacos. Tacos is trying to buy as much time as possible. But now he's one shot here. And I think Messi, if he does not fluff the shell, he would be able. It's a low roll though. But Tacos now on adrenaline. Can Messi land a shot onto Tacos? He does. Leaving them the last person standing. And Raid gets this. Bring this to a 3-2. Suddenly Raid springs back to life. Well done to Raid. They are surely on the road now. They are now on a match point. Who would have thought that? They are definitely defying the odds. They're looking for their first round win here. 16.01 is the odds that was given by Thomas Peterson to win, and it's likely they're going to take home this win. What a game! What a win for Raid. Well done here. As for Serenity, I think they dropped so many hit points. They weren't able to conserve the hit points well enough. I think they were also quite distracted with the focus fire. And that is pretty much their downfall in the last match. And we will be looking at Raid taking double IS4, double Type 70 wounds, double 215B, and a T100 LT. Thank you, Roman, for the good comment. I am very humbled to hear your to see your praises in the chats. Although I admit I am stammering a lot tonight. But we could also see Serenity going for double crown bargains, triple Type 70 ones, one T100 LT and a 60 TP. Going back onto Naval Frontier, if Raid wins this one, this is going to bring everything close. Serenity, they don't want to fluff. They don't want to... I mean, they've performed so well so far in this tournament. Every single round win counts. But I digress. Now is not the time to think about losing. Now is the time to think about winning. For both teams. Raid on the cusp of victory. Can they bring the biggest upset of tonight? Perhaps the biggest upset of the tournament. Raid against Serenity. Can they do this? Can Raid defy all the odds? And I believe in them. I'm sure they can do really well. Those 3 wins have been amazing to watch, and I have to say, this is a totally different Raid. They have woken up. They are going to show the world that they are a top 4 contender. They are not the cannon fodder in the top 8. Messi has spotted up Vabon and also no one. So not a lot of information here so far. Tacos in that T100 LT will spot up both Blue and Drizzle. Now Flytix has been spotted and Lego in the 60 TP. We could see Raid going to commit their forces onto C. Messi has taken a hit here. but Serenity hasn't been punished a lot in the crossing. They are still relatively healthy though, and Raid has dropped some hit points. They're trying to get C, and probably successfully as well. It is the case, but Alpha might be in a bit of trouble here, because look at Alpha. Alpha might be pushed by the Type 71s, but they can't do that because Serenity have the angers to work with. So for Raid, they have to stay safe. They have the cap lead. They don't need to do much. They don't want to be too ambitious. If they are too ambitious, they will lose the cap. They will be under a strong hit point disadvantage, and that will make it easy for Serenity to push. They don't want that to happen, do they? Serenity finally gets A, but it's on Serenity that needs to make a push, not Raid. But if Raid continues to drop hit points, this is not going to go in favor of Raid. Especially if Nixie gets taken out, then Serenity will get back the cap lead, because the gap at the moment is less than 80 cap points. So the team that gets a kill will earn 40 points. The team that loses a tank will lose 40 points. So we are talking about 80 points of gap there, and it's within that at the moment. So if Nixie isn't able to survive, then Raid would need to make a push, not Serenity. Now Serenity with Babon going into B, is Raid ready for this move? Is Serenity ready for this move? That's probably the more important question here. Old School has spotted Babon, misses that shot, and Babon will get B. That means Serenity will get a cap lead, but Lego bounces onto Old School. He has dropped the reactive armor, but I don't think that is the right timing for that, because no one is shooting Old School at the moment. If Serenity decides to push Old School right now, then he won't be able to drop this reactive armor. But Serenity's not doing that. Serenity just needs to stay safe and hold. They have the cap lead. They don't need to do something absolutely out of the world. Falcon has taken a couple more hits, so that means Serenity has a lots of hit point advantage, and they also have a substantial hit point cap point advantage. Raid does not have a lot of time to respond to. They only have around 20 more seconds to go before they absolutely have to make a push. Where could they push? It's going to be a hard call for them, but they absolutely have to make that call. Serenity looks very strong on the defense. Can Raid make this work? Can Raid surprise everyone? Now has dropped into B. He is trying to make a cap stop on B, but at the same time Serenity is seeing a push coming from the C side. Raid, this could actually work. This could actually work. Narrow is going to buy a lot of time for Raid to kill all the tanks of Serenity there. And all Serenity needs to do is to stay alive. But Verbon is the focus for Raid. That's a good call. And Narrow has absorbed a lot of shots there. Finally he is down. Nixie is down. Narrow is down. 5 of 7. Raid needs to start killing the tanks. But Old School is also out. Serenity got 1,000 cap points. Raid isn't able to kill a single tank of Serenity, and they weren't able to prevent Serenity from winning with through caps. We are now on to 3-3, a tiebreaker. Who would have thought that would happen? Raid, on the other hand, lost too many hit points. Not the issue that they didn't respond to Serenity capturing B. They tried to address that, but it wasn't successful. More to say is Nixie and also Falcon losing so many hit points at the start. That really didn't help them in the push. They had a good idea. Again, Narrow buying a world of time. But if I were Raid, I would just leave Narrow to cap B and just get the rest of the team to start killing the tanks of Serenity one by one then. I mean, they have to make a big call, but they timed their push well. I mean, I think it's a good idea. Seldom do I say this, but you don't go for B at the start of the push. But this is a different story because Serenity is definitely looking at Raid pushing to their spawn. This is the only way that they could do. And, or is it the only way? Maybe they can rotate back to their spawn and push A. That could also work, actually. But what I was saying is that Serenity is absolutely looking at Raid pushing onto their own spawn. So to provide a surprise, Raid dropped into B first, and has diverted some tanks of Serenity to deal with that. And now, what will this tiebreaker bring? Will Raid be able to make an upset and win against Serenity? They have performed brilliantly tonight. And we are now on Faust. Let's see. Raid versus Serenity. Raid, red team from the south spawn with blue team Serenity from the north spawn. What are they going to do? What is the Raid going to do? This is all or nothing for them. Can Serenity pull out a win? Oh, Falcon is spotted! Tacos lining up for shots onto Falcon, but Falcon just got into safety just in time, and Tacos still looking for the perfect moment to shoot. And he's not shooting anything at the moment. He's not going to telegraph the position to Raid. He's standing still. Not sure he's offline though. He's not offline, obviously. Raid will get B as well. Again, Serenity on a cap disadvantage. Flytex will go straight into A. I think they're just going straight into the caps now. They are not waiting any longer. There are shots trying to go onto Narrow, but it didn't hit anything. Tacos has been spotted and gets shot at by Raid. That's a good start for Raid. And Tacos gets shot again. With A being captured now, Raid will try to get C and bring the matters to Serenity hands. Serenity needs to make a rotation. Do they have to do it now? Maybe, because we're talking about Raid having 9 cap points of increase per 2 seconds. So we are really talking about essentially wait, am I doing the maths wrong? I'm just going to get my calculator out. They only have a minute to go. They absolutely need to use the minute here to find out where Raid's tanks are. But Raid is going to make it very difficult for Serenity to push, because they're defending very closely with one another. They are going to be really tough to break down. But Serenity is now dropping the ball. They're trying to get C. Dem is going straight onto B. He has been spotted, but will he be decapped? And will Serenity be able to get C? I mean, Spitfires is now the target for Raid. Spitfires needs to stay alive. Raid could counter push at any second, but Raid also doesn't need to do much. They have to hit the cap still, but B and C will both be captured. I would be wondering why no one's decapping C. Now Serenity got all 3 caps back. Raid's cap point increase will be decreased, but Serenity, they are under a strong hit point pool disadvantage. As well with Tacos now a 1-shot. He's not going to be long for this world if he gets taken down. Now Serenity has to hope that Raid's push is not materializing, but this is not the case. Raid is bleeding Serenity in every single angle, and also we are seeing them brawling with Narrow 1 versus 1. This is not looking good for Serenity at all. I think Raid have this. I think Raid will be able to win this one, unless there is a miracle happening around the corner. I don't think that's the case. Serenity is pretty much limping at this point. There is nothing much Serenity could do. They will lose them very soon, and Narrow will get that shot into them. It's now 7 versus 6, and Serenity might have found Old School isolated. Great shot to Old School by Lego. I think Serenity, this is the only opportunity for them to make a comeback. But Raid is doing a great job in the hit point pool sharing as well. They have to start doing. They have to start performing. They have to start getting the tanks out. This is not looking good for Serenity at all. And Old School receives a bounce from Vabon. Raid gets this. Raid surely has this in the bag. Well done to Raid. It's now 7 versus 4. Spitfires is down. Lego is down. Raid gets it. They will be winning 4-3. Huge congratulations to Raid. They truly deserve to win. And they are not the whipping boys at all. Every single clan has got every single clan, I hope, will have got at least a round win here. Well done to Raid. Absolutely wonderful wonderful game. Serenity just didn't look like they are going to win on fouls at all, especially when Raid pressurized them a lot, getting all 3 caps. I think Serenity might have to change their strategy if they want to win against Raid. Raid is doing the more conventional EU strategy. They are playing for the caps. They are playing for cap pressure. It's a lot different than what the CIS teams are doing, and also Split Rennery team to an extent. These teams love to find the weakness in your lineup, and also they have really good individual skills. Raid is not like that. Raid, they have heeded my message. They have listened to me. I'm not sure if they have actually done that, but what they've done really well in these 4 wins, they put faith in their strategies. They committed to their pushes, and they got the result they truly deserve. Well done to Raid. Commiserations to Serenity. This is their first defeat in the professional tournament. We're also going to be seeing the results for the professional tournament first. We have more than 40 people watching now. Thank you very much. That means a lot to me, so I sincerely want to say thank you here. And we have results. Ikra has won against Jokes 4-1. That is an important win for Ikra. Also, the pink team has lost to APA 1-4. Their first defeat as well. Meanwhile, we have Split Rennery team finally getting the win. Now, Split Rennery team will have at least 1 round win. So all the clans here, all the top 8 teams have at least got a win. A round win. And also you can look at the table now. APA will be topping the leaderboard tonight because they have won 1 game. And that is against the pink team. They haven't played any matches against Serenity yet. And that will happen. That will happen tomorrow, I believe. Yes, that will happen tomorrow. So the top 4 for tonight is APA, the pink team, Serenity, and also Ikra. Jux is in the 5th position because they lost to Ikra. Split Rennery team is starting to build momentum. Gravitas in the 7th place, and Raid in the 8th place. Split Rennery team won against Gravitas, and that is why they're now in the 6th place. As for Gravitas team, because they've won 1 match at least against Split Rennery team, they will be in the 7th place. Raid, despite winning against Serenity, that's an important win for them. They will be in the 8th place for tonight. That's all for me. Thank you all for watching, and we love to see a tiebreaker. And there we go. Thank you all. And also, I almost forgot is to check the results of the Challengers tournament, which means we have eliminated teams. Onyx Gang team won against Quicks 3-0, and Pork team lost to TTT 0-3. What has happened there to Pork? Not the result I was looking for. Alas, it is what it is. Which means we have to say goodbye to Pork here. TDT are through to the lower bracket final, and Onyx Gang team are through to the lower bracket final as well. So this is it. Thanks all for watching. I hope you enjoyed my stream, and you can see now tomorrow I'll be following either Group 1, which, if it's the case, Veil versus Legion first, and then the loser of that against Onyx Gang team. As for Group 2, we have TKT versus ASN first, and the loser of that will fight against TTT in the lower bracket final. Thank you all, and have a good night. Bye.